This program provides education, not advice. Sponsors pay a fee for endorsements and interviews. See the truthayf.com disclosure page for details.
This is where technology, innovation, and personal finance come together.
This is the truth about your future with Rick Edelman.
Invesco QQQ is proud to sponsor The Truth About Your Future, and even prouder to provide access to innovation for the last 25 years. Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
It's Friday, December 20th. Hey, we got a question from Michael. He's in Wagonaw, New York. Here's Michael's question.
Are SBA loans a good way to borrow money for a growing small business?
Michael, are the loans a good way to borrow money? Well, I'll tell you this. SBA loans are a legitimate way to borrow money. The question really is, should you be borrowing money? See, here's the deal. The number one reason that small businesses fail, and I hope you do know the statistics, 80% of small businesses fail. The number one reason they fail, lack of capital. So you've really got to ask yourself, do you have enough capital to operate your business, grow your business, reach profitability in your business so that the profits can be used to pay your ongoing expenses and allow your business to become sustainable? If you are lacking the revenue, do you have the resources to tide you over? And that means either borrowing the money or raising capital from other investors. Now, here's the issue. If you raise the capital from other investors, you never have to pay them back. They're taking a risk that you'll succeed. If you fail, too bad. They are out of money. They go broke. They lose their investment. If you borrow the money, you do have to repay the loan, even if you're out of business. And that's part of the challenge. Now, a lot of young entrepreneurs are not able to borrow money because they don't have any credit record. They don't have any resources. They don't have any collateral. That's where the Small Business Administration can be helpful, is that they often will provide loans to young entrepreneurs who otherwise wouldn't be able to obtain the loans. So I'm not going to say, is it a good way to go to borrow money? The more fundamental question is, should you be borrowing the money in the first place? Just because you can borrow the money doesn't mean you should. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen young entrepreneurs go to the bank to borrow money to start a business. The bank says, what kind of collateral do you have? And the business owner says, well, the only collateral I've got is my home. And they walk out saying, great, I got the loan. No, you didn't get a business loan. You got a home equity loan. The bank forced you to tie your home equity to the business loan as collateral. That's a home equity loan. That is not a business loan, which means if the business fails, you lose your house. So I really want you to be careful before you go borrowing money. I don't care if it's from the SBA or Uncle Edgar. I want to make sure you're able to put that money to sufficient good use that it's going to prove to be a good investment, allow your business to succeed so you can pay off the loan, stay in business, and not be saddled with the debt and the ruined credit record as a result of all that. This is, by the way, kind of activity I'm going to be getting involved in more and more in 2025, helping entrepreneurs, startups, newcos, as well as far more established companies that are, either fully operational as a Fortune 500 company or simply a company that's gotten lots of venture capital or private equity funds, helping them grow by providing consulting and mentoring services, board roles and advisory roles, you name it. So the kind of question, Michael, you just asked, I'm going to be spending a lot of my time doing that in 2025 once this podcast comes to an end, which it's doing in just 1 week. We'll be back with more here on The Truth About Your Future. Stay with us.
What's your boldest, truly ambitious life goal? Everyone has one, and everyone deserves a way to get there. That's why State Street offers a wide variety of ETFs to give all investors access to the market and the chance to reach their goals. Like with SPY, where you get the power of the S&P 500 in a single trade. Wherever you're heading, getting there starts here with State Street.
Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit ssga.com for a prospectus containing this and other information. Read it carefully before investing. SPY is subject to risks similar to those of stocks. All ETFs are subject to risk, including possible loss of principal. ALPS Distributors, Inc. Distributor.
Support for The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman is made possible by Invesco QQQ. A quarter of a century ago, Invesco QQQ reimagined how people invest by providing access to the most innovative companies on the NASDAQ 100, all in one ETF. With Invesco QQQ, investors saw all the possibilities that innovation could deliver. So what's on the horizon for the next 25 years? See for yourself. Tap into the companies remaking the future. Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETF risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the tech sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit Invesco.com for prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully before investing. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Welcome back to The Truth About Your Future. Hey, you know, in the November election, there were states that held referendums on a variety of subjects. One state, West Virginia, actually put forth a constitutional amendment, and it was approved by the residents of West Virginia. This constitutional amendment put a ban on medically assisted suicide. This was a incredibly close vote. The vote was 50.5% voted yes, 49.5% voted no. An incredibly close vote. See, medically assisted suicide was already illegal in West Virginia, so why bother with the constitutional ban? Well, there was a member of the legislature who simply wanted to make sure that this ban stayed as a ban and said, we're going to pass a constitutional amendment to make sure the state legislature never votes yes on this. Now, here's the thing. Here's what the amendment did. It added a line that said the following: no person, physician, or healthcare provider in the state of West Virginia shall participate in the practice of medically assisted suicide, euthanasia, or mercy killing of a person. By the way, it's okay to prescribe medication that alleviates pain or discomfort. It's also okay to withdraw or withhold life support or life-sustaining treatment. And it's also okay, by the way, I found this funny, for the state to execute convicted felons. So we're not going to allow you to do medically assisted suicide, but it's okay for the state to kill felons. Go figure. We'll continue our conversation when we return here on The Truth About Your Future. Stay with us.
At Schwab, how you invest is your choice, not theirs. That's why when it comes to managing your wealth, Schwab gives you more choices. You can invest and trade on your own. Plus, get advice and more comprehensive wealth solutions to help meet your unique needs. With award-winning service, low costs, and transparent advice, you can manage your wealth your way at Schwab. Visit schwab.com to learn more.
Welcome back. The Truth About Your Future continues. Anyway, as I mentioned, a state legislator pushed for this referendum on this amendment because he said he wanted to, quote, make sure that the terrible scourge of euthanasia is never allowed. But here's the thing. Some of the voters have complained, saying that the wording of the amendment was confusing on the ballot. Remember, I said the vote was incredibly close. Here's what the question was, and I want you to tell me how you would vote. Do you want the Constitution amended to protect West Virginians against medically assisted suicide? See, a lot of people who support medically assisted suicide but don't want the Constitution amended voted no, not realizing that they were voting to make medically assisted suicide illegal. In other words, the way the question was worded was, do you want the Constitution amended? Well, maybe I don't want the amendment, even though I support medically assisted suicide. This confusion, some people say, it caused me to vote the opposite of the way I really wanted to vote. And if that is true, with a vote this close, 50.5 versus 49.5, you can see why people in West Virginia are arguing over this right now. Bottom line is this. There are, I think, around 10 states that allow this already. California, Colorado, Hawaii, Maine, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, Washington State, and the District of Columbia. Medically assisted suicide is permitted. Another 23 states are working on legislation that would permit it as well. And in Great Britain, in this election season over there, the parliament there has just voted to permit assisted suicide. Their rule is pretty much the same as it is in our states here. You've got to be over the age of 18. You have to be told by 2 doctors and a judge that you've got no more than 6 months to live. You've got to administer the drugs yourself. Nobody can do it for you, which means you need to be both mentally competent and physically able to do so. This is going to become an increasingly important conversation. I told you this way back in 1997 with the publication of my very first book, The Truth About Money. I said that in the 21st century, the dominant social debate will not be the abortion issue. It'll be the issue of euthanasia. And here we are.
How should you think about Bitcoin? Turn to a specialist. For 6 years, Bitwise has been helping investors access crypto. Bitwise manages the world's largest crypto index fund. They also offer 6 crypto ETFs. You get cutting-edge insights, expert Bitcoin research, and a nationwide team to help. Bitwise helps investors and advisors navigate crypto with confidence. Partner with a specialist. Look for ETFs backed by Bitwise. BitwiseInvestments.com. Carefully consider the extreme risks associated with crypto before investing.
It's hard to believe it. It's been 35 years on the air. I've done more than 1,500 radio broadcasts over the last 3 decades, more than 500 podcasts in the last 3 years alone, and my podcasts are winding down. My last one, as I've told you, is December 27. I'm so glad you've been with me all these years. If you want to stay connected with me, be sure to join my distribution list. Just click on the link in the show notes. I'll make sure you continue to get the latest that I offer on exponential technologies, crypto, Alzheimer's, longevity, investing, all the topics that matter most to us all. Thank you for being with me all these years. I'm looking forward to many more with you. Please subscribe today so we can stay connected.
Increased awareness and actionable intelligence about the forces that are shaping our world.
This is The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman.